Hi, welcome to our fourth video on the investor series, and this is on negative gearing versus positive gearing. My name is Denjola. I'm a mortgage broker with 910 Finance, and I'm representing a team and trying to share our knowledge to help you build your property portfolio. Okay, and as we build a property portfolio, negative gearing and positive gearing properties are one of the biggest conversation, especially here in Australia. So what does it mean? What do these words mean? Okay, so negative gearing occurs when there is a loss on the property. So when you're buying a property, and you have a certain rental income, and you minus all those expenses, and if there is any losses, it's called negative gearing. Whereas if you're getting rental income and then you have any expenses, but you are making profit out of it, it's called positive gearing. Okay, generally, I get this question: which one is better? Obviously, positive gear is better. It's always good to have money in your pocket. There's no doubt about that. But there are certain areas why negative gearing would be better as well, and we'll just have a chat on that. Okay, so negative gearing outweighs the cost of owning a rental property. That's what we just said. It creates some tax losses, which can normally be offset against your income, including your wage or salary, to provide tax savings. So that is one of the biggest reasons people opt for negative gearing. So what happens is, let's say you buy a property, you get a rental income of $1,000, your expenses are $800, you have $200 loss the property. So that $200 loss you can offset against your income. So let's say you have an income of $100,000, you can that reduces the 200. Let's say an income of 10, let's say $1,000, you reduce the $200. You minus the $200, and that's where your tax is effective. Look, it's a little bit complicated. Always talk to your tax accountants regarding this one. But technically, any losses you can offset against your income. So that's, as I said, it's highlighted in blue, this one. So it always says it's normally done for tax benefits. The other one is, it's very simple. If you have a property and your rental income is $1,000 and you're making $1,200, you have a $200 profit, and that's a positively cash flow property. Look, as I said, there's no right or wrong, and I'll tell you, I will discuss why would this be. But technically, if you look at it from a layman point of view, always positive cash flow property is always preferred. But please be mindful, when you first buy a property, it might not be positively great straight away. There might be a few properties, but might not want to buy those properties, or you might want to buy those properties. It might be negatively geared initially, but as time passes by, after 2, 3, 4 years, when things changes, your mortgage goes down, the property prices go up, then it could be positively geared as well. So you start as a negative gearing, and then it becomes positively geared over time, and that's how normally the property is, and that's how it should be as well. But sometimes there are cases when you just go and straight dive into positively cash flow properties, and that's finding those type of properties. Okay, now when we talk about negative gearing, positive gearing, we need to focus on these two things. Where, as an investor, the two most important things we look into: one is capital growth versus cash flow. So capital growth is when you buy a property, you want the property value to increase, and I think that's the one single main reason people want to buy a property. So let's say you buy a property for 100,000. Hopefully, in 10 years, it'll be 200 or $300,000. So that's the whole plan. Whereas cash flow properties, which means is when you are buying the property, you want rent to cover most of the expenses. Okay, and so that you're not out of pocket too much. Okay, because if you are on a tight income, it's really difficult to pay the mortgage on an ongoing basis when you have some extra things to pay. Okay, so how do you decide, what kind of a property buy, what tax benefits and stuff? Look, for that, it depends upon an individual, and when we have a chat, we can give you some ideas, but it's your call at the end of the day what kind of a property you want to buy. For example, if you're you're a high income earner, you don't mind getting a little bit of negative gear properties, and then slowly, as you have 2 or 3 negative gear properties, then you want to build up the positive cash flow properties. So it depends upon your household's income, okay, your cash flow, and what your strategy is down the line. So when you invest in property, that's why it's very important you understand these aspects, and then you dive into the property part of it. And then when we speak to us, we will always try and help you where we can as well. So negatively geared properties or positively geared properties, capital growth or cash flow. So that's how it is. And as I said, it's an ongoing process. We will talk about these more as we comes in the next videos. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope this was useful, and see you soon. Bye.